Greetings, Tau, and what a day it's been. We've had our Tau Grotmus Detachment. Didn't start too well today, if I'm completely honest. One, I messed up the live stream because YouTube was up in the background and there was a reverb and it was horrible. So basically that was trash. So I had to start it again. So apologies for that. I'll get better in the future. But initial reactions when this detachment came out, I was gutted. I was like, oh god, not another auxiliary. We've already got the Crew detachment. Where are my big shiny suits? And then I was looking through it and I was a bit disheartened. I wasn't really seeing the kind of magic there. And yeah, it was just a bit meh. And I was a bit deflated because I was expecting big shiny robots. I was expecting something like the Borkan detachment. And let's be real, a lot of us out there are disappointed. And that's absolutely fine. Upon reflection, though, I've had a bit of a deep dive, and I've started to kind of get over my initial disappointment and start to really dig deep and see what this detachment's all about and what kind of magic's inside. I'm not saying it's hyper competitive, but I'm saying that actually this is a new way of playing Tau. This is completely different, and it might not be for everybody. I'm going to be completely honest, it might not be. Because you might just want to run loads of suits. But they're Riptides for you. You might want to be aggressive with your guns and not have to bother with auxiliaries. Then Montcar, Kion, whatever your flavour is. Not a problem. But let's go straight into this auxiliary Cadre, shall we? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a TTS demonstration on a few things that I've been looking at today and coming up with like a sneaky little plan. And it's definitely sneaky. So let's have a look at the detachment, shall we? So it's basically split up into two. The integrated command structure. A benefit for Crew and Vespid, and then a benefit for the Tau Empire, working together in unison. So, targeting triangulation. While an enemy unit is within 9 and visible to this unit, each time a ranged attack made by a friendly Tau Empire model, excluding Crew and Vespid, targets that enemy unit, improve the armor penetration characteristics of that attack by 1. Now, initially, I was looking at thinking, oh, 1 unit, but actually it's not an enemy unit, so it's every enemy unit within 9. So, apply an auxiliary with speed, Crew Hounds, Vespid, you can slam it in front of them and go, every one of your units now, when the game is absolutely at its critical point where we're having to full send, then you're going to get AP across the board. That is quite powerful, if I'm honest, and very good. The next section, Tau Empire units, excluding Crute and Vespid. Okay? So, Crute and Vespid that are wholly within 6 of a... while a friendly Crute or Vespid Stingwing unit is wholly within 6 and visible to this unit, Crute and Vespid can only be targeted as a selection of a range attack if the model is within 18. So initially I was like, no, well, we're just going to die though because the enemy is going to come up close, and if I put out a Tau unit, they're just going to shoot it, and then I'm no longer lone op. But there's some spicy things we can do with lone ops in our natural Tau Empire units. So Ghostkeel, Shadow Sun, Firesight Marksman. Yeah, that's right, Firesight Marksman. But then actually, a Devilfish, fully loaded with breaches, could be at the forefront, come out and shoot it, the breaches get out, and then whatever's behind, maybe some angry gorillas, aka those rampagers, are looking spicy. So you can actually push up an entire Tau force, and then those rampagers ain't getting shot. And even if they do, it's very minimal. Even if it's a Crute unit, you've got, whether it's a 20-man or a 10-man, if you're taking your 20-man bricks, because obviously we can only take 3 units of Crute Carnival because they're not battle line, you can manipulate, pull models away, and then the next set of attacks that's coming in won't be able to deal with the Crute. And I think, in terms of a big push, I think the Alpha Strike and the Go turn for this particular detachment for Tau is insanely good. So let's get into the enhancement, shall we? The Student of the Kion. Now, Crute Shaper and model only, and in the formation step, you can select up to 3 Crute Carnivores or Firestalkers, and they have Deep Strike. So you might be thinking, well, they're going to Deep Strike and do nothing. You are correct. They're not going to Deep Strike in and do damage. Yeah, you can stack a few buffs and make them a little bit, shooty, but it's nothing like it's just going to wipe out a unit of Terminators or a Marines. But think about the deep strike part. Vespid are really good because what you can do with Vespid, just in normal detachment, not specifically this one, is that you can go up your downy and keep them in reserve, and then if the opponent leaves an objective open, you can rapid ingress them on an open objective and steal your primary. Now imagine doing that, but with Kroot that are sticky. So if an opponent doesn't really want to come out and play, doesn't want to go onto the center objective because you'll just blast them off the table, you just go rapid ingress. And the good thing about this, if you have the stealth suits in your army, you can trail them out. So a stealth suit unit hidden somewhere behind terrain, you just put one model within 3, and then you conga line the rest of the unit to go and touch objectives. Or alternatively, you just rapid ingress in a place where they can't be shot, because you've maybe had another Tau unit that's infiltrating forward, like a Firesight Marksman, or Shadow Sun, or a Ghost Keel. You can rapid ingress them next to that lone op Tau model and go, cool. And now we're going to auto advance. Oops, that's one of the stratagems. But you can yeet them forward. The enemy is effectively going to have a hard time, scoring primary. So initially, absolutely gutted. Now I'm starting to see the flavour and the spice. Let's get on to the next enhancement. Admired Leader. Tau Empire model, excluding Kroot models. In your command phase, you can select one Kroot or Vespid unit within 12 of the bearer, so massive range, improve the leadership, and improve their OC by 1, as long as it's not battle shocked. And add 1 to the objective control. Now, the interesting thing here is, if you think about this, it's excluding Kroot models, okay? So in terms of the character. But if you had the Admired Leader go, the unit's battle shocked, you can actually, let me just double check something. I want to look at the War Shaper. So the War Shaper's ability, I'm just checking when the War Shape ability is done. Once per battle at the start of any phase, you can select one friendly Kroot unit that is battle shocked, and within 12 of this model, that unit is no longer battle shocked. So, start the command phase, you make them unbattle shocked, because it's at the start of any phase. But then you would have to roll. So you have to roll for your battle shock. So it wouldn't work. Yeah, it wouldn't work. But you can still use that Warshaper's ability to some effect as well, because you can choose another unit. And suddenly making Kroot OC3 or Kroot Hounds OC1, but then if you have a Kroot character, they gain an additional OC, which is not limited to being battle shocked or not. You're suddenly then rocking OC2 on the Hounds, very familiar to what we have in the Exemplar of Montcar. The Montcar Detachment with the Strategic Conqueror. So a 40-point unit of 5 Hounds can suddenly just put OC10 on objective. And if you happen to go broke or go home and have a unit of 10 Kroot, that's 20 OC. Or 10. Depends. But honestly, I think that Admired Leader is a really good enhancement. I think the Student of Kion and the Admired Leader are absolutely golden. I know a lot of people and a lot of reviews have said Student of Kion probably won't bother, but actually I see the power in this, a huge power in this, if you design your list around it. And then we've got the Fanatical Convert. Kroot model only, it has the greater good ability. Put it on a Lone Spear, guide, but he doesn't have a Marker Light, so can be good, situational. If somebody's got an invuln and you're hitting them with enough AP to put them on the invuln, then you don't really need the Marker Light keyword, so I can kind of see this working. It's only 10 points, so maybe if you've got 10 points spare, happy days. Then the Transponder Lock module. This is so funny. Tau Empire Walker model with the Deep Strike ability only, so Commander. Why don't you just say a Tau Commander? The bearer's unit can be set up using the Deep Strike ability in the reinforcement step of your first, second, and third movement phase, regardless of mission rules. But if you do it in the first movement phase, you have to set up the bearer's unit, and it must be set up within 12 inches of a friendly Crute or Vespid Stingwings. So, fast stalker unit, infiltrating, then boom, can go in. But I actually agree with what Siegler was saying on the Art of War, that Tau players might want to do this, but it's probably not a good idea to do so, because most people are deploying very cagily and waiting for engagements to go out that are going to benefit them, whether it be for secondaries or whether it be to pick apart some of your key assets. So it's cool. It can definitely make an opponent think, but for me, I don't think it's an auto-include. And I think a lot of Tau players are going to look at this and go, well, I'll just auto-include it. And I think when you start building a list, then you'll see that actually what you're looking to do is bait them out with Crute first and then do it. So your first turn is going to be pretty much kind of like littering the field, being annoying, forcing your opponent out, and then you're going to be doing it. Now, okay, if the opponent goes first and wants to do that, then yes, this is going to come in play, but half the time you're going to go first, half the time you're going to go second. Depends on your role. Okay, so let's have a look at some stratagems. Now, initially, when I was reading through these in the live review that failed, I was a bit like, getting a few things wrong, because I was rereading it and reading it again and reading it again. And a lot of these are very convoluted and quite, you kind of need a degree to read them, to be honest, or at least have the codex in advance so you can kind of read through it and kind of like pick apart and understand them. So this feels very much like you've got a detachment and you're having to think 5D chess. And it feels that way. A lot of these loopholes and these little tricks that you can do require a lot of other mechanics working in tangent together, and it gets a little bit confusing. It's not just a straightforward detachment that you can pick up and go, oh yeah, this is simple. I'm Necrons with the Star Shatter Arsenal, I'm just going to push everything forward and shoot, and then Kool-Aid through walls. It's definitely not that. And I think that's probably added to a little bit of our frustration, because it seems to be throughout all of our little, our codex, our detachments, there's always these like loopholes that we have to jump through, or we have to jump through all of these like conditions just to get something off. So I definitely feel for you, but have some faith, guys, because I think with practicing and perfecting this craft makes you a better player anyway. So it's not all doom and gloom. So let's go into the stratagems. Experimental modifications. Effectively, the shooting or fight phase, a Crute or Vespid unit gains an extra AP. So shooting, interesting, okay, crits, all that kind of stuff. Crute suddenly doing 40 shots or 18 shots or whatever it is with the other special weapons on top of that. I mean, if you take the Crute guy who's got a carbine, that's one off, then you've got 2 tangle bombs, so it's 17. So it's 714, it's 34 shots. AP 1, yeah, it's cute. Where I think it really shines is either a Vespid Alpha Strike, where if you had a 10-man Vespid and you dropped them in, you could ignore cover once per game with its special drone, and then you could be AP 3. I wouldn't bother with the other special weapons in the Crute Vespid team. I would definitely take the Neutron Blaster, because it's anti-infantry 3+, AP2 or AP1? Let's double check. Crute Detachment, having a look, because I put it all in the Crute Detachment because they've not updated the app yet. Vespid, cool. Abilities, ranged weapons, Neutron Grenade Launcher, D6, Blast, Anti-Infantry 3+, Strength 4, AP1, 2 damage, so it will go to AP2, 2 damage. Anti-Infantry 3+. So that could be cool. And speaking of a stratagem that can enhance it further, is the multi-sensory scanning. So a Vespid unit and Crute unit can reroll the wound roll instead of like the Tau Empire that can only reroll the wound rolls of 1, which we already have with our stealth suits guiding. So it really favours the Crute or Vespid to reroll the wounds. Now, these two stratagems, we don't usually kind of think about our stratagems in the combat phase, but these two 100% could make our rampagers go berserk. So rampagers at AP2. So rampagers, melee weapons. So the rampagers' fists, strength 6 AP1, 2 damage. Now Armor of Contempt was a bit of a bane of their life because, they go in, either put a basic marine on a 3+, or a Terminator still on a 2+, and you're like, oh, sad times. But with this, AP2, even if they Armor Contempt, Terminators are going to be on a 3-up, and Marines are going to be on a 4-up. And then it's flat 2 damage. extra attacks, sustained hits 1, hitting on 3s, and then if you hit them with a lone spear, you get full rerolls to hit, and it's got sustained. So you're just going to be going in, sustained goodness, of full rerolls. You could fish depending on what you roll, and doing it in increments of 6. So usually if I've say missed with 4, I'll just take 2 of the successful ones so I can guarantee maybe 1 or 2 6s, it depends. So you can really kind of power up these Gorilla Fists. And then on top of that, the Hunting Blades that are strength 4 AP 1, 1 damage, but they've got Lance, so +1 to wound, re-rolling wounds, and AP 2 then. So these Rampagers can really go in and slap. And then we give them reroll. We give them reroll wounds. Jesus Christ! So 24 attacks with the Rampager's Fists at 6, 2, and 2, hitting on 3s, full rerolls to hit, sustain hits 1, and then strength 6 with rerolling wounds. And then strength 4, so it's 3 attacks. If it's a unit of 6 Rampagers, that's 18 attacks, hitting on 3s, full rerolls to hit, AP 2, strength 4 but lands with rerolling wounds. Bring me some Anger Gorillas. Honestly, this part, I love my Rampage models and I've been looking for an excuse to run them, and I think this is the detachment for them. So, let's go on to the interlocking maneuvers, which again, I'm going to heavily focus this talk around a few key units on this stratagem because I think it's so powerful. So, interlocking maneuvers, at the end of the fight phase, 1 Tau Empire unit from your army that was eligible to fight this phase. So, to be eligible to fight, you have just needed to make or declared a charge and made a charge, a successful charge. So, a tank, Rampagers, anything that's going to charge in is and eligible to fight is going to be able to do 1 or 2 things. So if your unit is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, it can make a normal move up to 6. Otherwise, your unit can make a fallback move. Now, a fallback move isn't limited to the 6. So a normal move of up to 6, regardless of your movement, but if you're making a fallback move, you can just move your full distance. So Rampagers can go 7, Kroot can go 7, Kroot Hounds can go 12, Devilfish can go 12, Sunforge, led by a Coalstar, can go 12, and Farsight could go 10. Now, this is where managing your CP is crucial, because I'm going to give you a few scenarios of what you can do in the TTS one, but I'm just going to talk about it now because it's exciting me. If you heroic intervened on somebody that's charging something because they can't really shoot you, they're like, sod this, I don't want to get shot by a Tau stuff, I'm just going to send a unit in. You heroic intervene with your Rampagers, and because the mortal wounds that the Rampagers do are not conditioned to part of the charge move, it's just when they end in engagement range, you could do the mortals against said target, and then if the enemy pulls you out of, say, piling range, which is going to be hard to do, you can then just make a normal move. But then if you're still in engagement range and you can pile into them, then you can just make a normal move of 7, yeet towards the enemy, and then it's your turn. And then you can move 7, do the next stratagem, which is the Pheromone Waypoints, which is an auto advance. And then you could do the next stratagem, Alien Expertise, which you can advance and declare a charge. So I know all these CP, you're suddenly thinking, well, you're not going to have 4 CP, but you can put things in your army that can help you with this. Shadow Sun, getting one of these back on a 5+, an Ethereal, rolling a 4+ every command phase and can actually be off the board and do it. Farsight doing a free stratagem. So, in short, heroic intervene Rampagers, make a normal move, charge, or move auto advance and then spend a stratagem to be able to charge again. You could suddenly be in your half of the board, heroic intervene, a charge move, then a pile in, then a consolidate, then a normal move, then a move and advance, and you could be on their home field like that. It's crazy. The tricks that you can do with the Rampagers alone is going to ruin someone's day. But then when you think about the interlocking maneuvers, so we don't have fire and fade. Fine, Riptide has that. It's easy to use. You move out, you kill something, you fire and fade to safety. Or you move out, you kill something, you fire and fade onto their objective. Very simple to use. This one, you can be very clever with it. And it reminds me of when I was using Tau in the dark days where we didn't have fire and fade. So I was using the charge move to effectively do my fire and fade. Now this is exactly that. So if you've got a cold star with a crisis team, don't advance them. Think about, well, if I just move 12, shoot that target there, charge that unit over there, and then I can make a normal move and go over here. So you can have a Sunforge on the left-hand side of the board, move, kill something, charge the center unit, because you're going to charge with the Kroot stuff or whatever it is, then suddenly go over this way of a movement 12. So then your Sunforgers kill the target on the left and suddenly is sitting pretty on the right-hand side flank. So you can utilize this stratagem to insane combos and keep those crisis teams alive. And I think that's where initially you might be thinking, well, the crisis suits go out and they die. But then doing this move as well, imagine you have the crisis team, which again is a Tau Empire unit, so as long as another Kroot unit is, or a Kroot or Vesper unit is within 6, it becomes Lorn up 18. But you imagine needing a Tau unit over there, like a Sunforge team, which are very difficult to remove because they've got 4 up in buttons, could suddenly do that maneuver, be over here, and then you've got a Rampaging unit set up there that the opponent's like, oh, okay, cool, well, I'm going to be able to kill them next turn. Because let's say you've brought them on 9 inches on the side of the board with no intent to charge or anything like that. Maybe they've come on and done an action for you, like containment. Yeah? You've moved your crisis suit here, you've shot, you've killed, you've charged, then you've used your normal move to go in front of the Rampagers, and suddenly that unit of 6 Rampagers is a lone op. So, honestly, interlocking maneuvers is exactly what it says on the tin. This stratagem alone is the powerhouse for me. Then the other ones, like the waypoint, the pheromone waypoints and the alien expertise, is just like the layering and the cake. So, pheromone waypoints. You could use it in multiple ways. Kroot or Vespid. Vespid, movement 12, assault. You know what? I need the 18. Yeet. And they've got OC, an additional OC because I gave it the command phase, so now OC 2. Oh, you thought you were safe on the primary? Nope. I've got an 18-inch moving unit that can just deny you primary. Thank you very much, 65 points. Good job. Opponent kills them, puts another unit on there. Cool, do it again. Kills it, cool, do it again. 3 turns, you denied someone their expansion objective. This detachment, forget layering, I need broadsides, I need tanks, I need this, I need that. You could literally just do a list all around being an annoying beep. I'm not going to swear, I don't want to get demonetized, but you could just purely focus a list on just being, I'm going to stop you from scoring primary, I'm going to score all my secondaries, and you're going to be annoyed. So it's kind of like the Kroot detachment, but on crack, because of Rampagers go through the roof. And then auto-advancing Kroot, you could rapid ingress a Kroot unit, move 13, because you move 7 plus an auto-advance, and then spend a CP and charge. And you could do this in such a way where, if it's a 20-man Kroot unit, and you rapid ingress them around, let's say, a Fireside marksman team, then they're not going to get shot. Then they're going to move out, and they're just going to charge everything. They're going to spread out like an octopus and just tag loads of stuff and go, looks like you can't move. I think, really think like a non-Tau player. And just think how many armies would go absolutely nuts for these stratagems and these combos. So your opponents are going to look at these stratagems and think, oh god, if I had that with, let's say, I don't know, a Cursed Cultist or CSM or Custodes or anything like that, it'd be crazy. Like, we just need to bank into this, because I guarantee you, if I wasn't ready to digest this instantly and think, oh my god, this is broken, and I was a bit disheartened, then the opponents aren't going to understand how this detachment works. They're just going to see you with a sea of chaff and go, where's your damage? And they realise it's irrelevant. So, honestly, guys, this stuff is good. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But if you love jank and you love being a tricksy player, this has got it all. And then we talk about the Guided Fire. Now, this is the spice for the Tau side of things. So it's a 1 CP stratagem. So Farsight could make it free. And it's a Tau Empire unit, excluding Kroot and Vespid. Until the end of the phase, add 1 to the strength characteristic of ranged weapons equipped by models in your unit. If it's wholly within 9 inches of one or more Kroot or Vespid Stingwing units, you add 2 to the strength of ranged weapons. So you should always be proccing that, and at least if maybe you've run out of auxiliaries, it's still +1 strength. Look at all of the unused data sheets that we've got. Outside of Montcar, Iron Hammerheads are like, sometimes you might see 1. In Montcar, you'll see like 2 because of the lethals. So that can suddenly take your Iron Hammerhead from strength 8, assuming it's overcharged, to strength 10. So it's got more shots than a railgun. Its Seeker missiles, strength 16, it's not a huge break point. Its SMS, or its accelerated burst cannons, go from strength 6 to strength 8. Its SMS goes to strength 7. Missile broadsides. Missile broadsides are strength 7. They go up to strength 9. You can easily make all of the AP go up by 1. So when I discussed the Iron Hammerhead, it's AP 2 flat 3, but it could easily be AP 3 flat 3, strength 10, D6 plus 3 blast. Then you've got high yield missile pods on the broadsides that are at strength 7 AP 1 2 damage, goes to strength 9 AP 2 2 damage, twin linked. SMS could go strength 7 AP 1 1 damage, twin linked. Your Seekers again could go strength 16 AP 4 D6 plus 1 damage. And then you can just give it things like, if you didn't want to go like SMS and Seekers, you could just go ignoring modifiers to hit. You could go fall back and shoot. Breaches, obviously, everybody knows breaches are good, but in this detachment, strength 8 AP 2, twin linked if you're on an objective. Okay, so if you wanted to design a list like Combined Arms, where you've got 3 Breacher Fish, 3 Cadres, and loads of Angry Gorillas, that is definitely a list that you could do. Gorillas go behind the Devilfish, Breachers go in front, Breachers are then within a range. You've got some Kroot Hounds that run out in front of them. Suddenly they're, again, AP 2 now, because they get the increase in the AP, and they're strength 8. That's quite a good breaking point. Strength 6 into T6, but actually now you don't care. Things like Aggressors come to mind, like, so what? You're strength 8 now. Or if it's normal Marines at T4, you're winning on 2s. So you're hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s if you're guided by stealth, or around Shadow Sun, winning on 2s, re-rolling 1s from stealth. Other things that I can think about, Sunforge, strength 9 goes to strength 11, again re-rolling wounds and damage against vehicles. Plasma Fire Knives going from strength 8 to strength 10. That is a huge breaking point. Means you're winning Terminators on 2s. Hitting on 3s, full re-rolls to hit. Okay, you can't get any sustained or lethals or anything like that, but strength 10. Missiles, strength 7 to strength 9. Plasmas go from AP 3 to AP 4. Missiles go from AP 1 to AP 2. With Armor of Contempt taking such a nerf, this is huge. What other units could we discuss? Strike teams that we've just not seen outside of just taking a 75-point battle line unit that's cheap. Strength 7, AP 1. Long range. 36 strike teams, I believe, still? Or is it 30? God, it's been so long since I've actually shot a pulse rifle, I've even forgot what it does. Strike team. Please still be 36. Please still be 36. Probably not. It's probably going to be 30. Yeah, 30. Cool. 30-inch rapid fire 1, strength 7, AP 1. 75 points. What if you just littered your list with 6 units of strikes for 450 points? So they all could be extra AP as well. So if you had a horde style list with just strike teams, because a Crute unit goes out, like a Crute Hound, and spreads across like a swarm of enemy infantry or enemy units, you can just open fire with all these strike teams. Only one unit's going to be strength 7 if you choose to do guided fire, but the rest of them are going to be strength 5 AP 1 because they're within 9 inches of a auxiliary unit. So all those units that we're not seeing at the moment because they're just not favourable suddenly become good. Our Tiger Shark went up, didn't it? Went up by 50 points. I wonder why. Guided fire on a Tiger Shark. So, yeah. Let me have a look. So, a Tiger Shark that's normally just a standard ion cannon, 2 of them, at strength 8, AP 2, 3 damage. So 2d6 plus 6, strength 10, AP 3, 3 damage shots. Then it's got its cyclic iron rakers that go, cyclic iron blasters that go to strength 10, AP 3, 2 damage, 6 shots. Then we've got our Sky Spear missile rack that goes from strength 6 to strength 8, AP 1 to AP 2. Then we got the missile pod at strength 9. Then we got the Seeker missiles at strength 16, AP 4, D6 plus 1. So if you want to take a Tiger Shark for guided fire, Jesus Christ. So, like, honestly, guys, like, see the difference between initial reactions, and I'm not putting this on, I genuinely am like, okay, I can see all these pieces working together now, because I've had time to digest the detachment. I've had chance just to kind of cool off, stop whining, which I was whining, honestly. If you'd have seen me, I was like, fuck's sake, where's my... Oops. Damn it! Where's my goddamn big Borkan suits? Where's my long strike? Where's my vehicle detachment? Where's my Kool-Aid guy through walls? But when I've started to put things together, I can definitely see the power of this. So, yes, it's complex. Yes, there's loads of hoops to jump through. But those are just some of the things that I've been thinking about throughout the day. Like, all these units that are not being seen suddenly are good. The boost, Sky Rays, suddenly go up to strength 16 with the Seekers. The Riptide, look, I think the Riptide is a bit of a trap, because it's kind of funny, isn't it? Earthcast engineers have been, working for many, many years, improving technology, making advanced weaponry, and they not make the Iron Accelerator more than strength 8. They can't figure it out. All it takes is some nearby angry chickens or some Vespid Stingwings just to make an Ion Accelerator or a Riptide shoot better. It's like the Crute looks over and goes, pfft, I could shoot better than that. Like, I get it, but I don't think the answer is just to kind of do Riptides in this, because I think for the points of 190, you could get more quantity of shots from another unit that can benefit by going past a breaking point, like Fire Knives with a Commander and Enforcer's 210, so it's 20 points more, but you're getting 10 plasma shots then for roughly the same price. Or Piranhas. A unit of 3 Piranhas for 180 points can suddenly be strength 7, AP 1, 1 damage, twin linked with the gun drones, strength 11 fusions, or strength 8 burst cannons, or strength 16 Seeker missiles, or you could for 180 points have a unit of 2 broadsides with rails go from strength 12 to strength 14, which is a really interesting breakpoint into like your T12 tanks. Again, your not high yield missile pods, the missile drones at strength 7 go to strength 9, AP 1 goes to AP 2. So there's lots of layering with this AP. It's actually going to matter because it's every unit within 9 of auxiliary, which you can really capitalize on when the enemy wants to push at you, and you can force them out in the open with your auxiliary units because they have to come and deal with them. Otherwise, you're scoring max primary and they're scoring diddly squat. Even their home field is not safe. So look, honestly, I'm kind of converting to this auxiliary detachment. Is it as powerful as Riptide, Montcar, Kion? Do you know what? We just simply don't know. We're all sat at home twiddling our thumbs, theory hammering, playing TTS. There's no real proper tournaments going on at the moment. Grotmus is a massive, big bombshell on understanding the meta because detachments are coming out every day, and we've had a balanced data slate. So until the tournaments start like really rocking, we're not going to know. But if you want to rock up with something that an opponent doesn't understand, Jesus, well, we barely understand it as it stands, so what chance has an opponent got? So I honestly think that this has legs, and I think it's not dead. And if you are out there thinking you're a bit disheartened, I get you, I'm with you, I understand. I was literally like that at 12 o'clock today when I saw it. But now I've had, 6 hours, half a day, really thinking about it, and I can see the power. And hopefully you can too, and hopefully this video helps. We've had a couple of discussions over in the Puretide program. We had a call, and a lot of my members were like, oh, I've spotted this, I've spotted that. And actually it was really inspiring for me because I was a little bit down and out, which is unlike me. I'm usually I'm constantly positive, boundless energy, but I was a little bit deflated. And actually it was inspiring me to have a look at different combos myself, and yeah, I can see it. So if you are interested in joining the like-minded community, you know what to do. In the description below, click on it. You don't have to pay me money. You don't have to join up to, a tier if you don't want to. We've got the free community, and we are growing every day. We're now nearly up to 2,100 members. And if you are interested in elevating your gameplay, you know what to do. 3 different tiers. Beginner tier, medium, and then your, if you like to call it, your S-class, your A tier. Highly competitive, motivated individuals that want to do well at tournaments. Then the Shas'O package is perfect. If you're somewhere in between and you want me to help you build lists, then come on to the Shas'O tier. And if you just want to take part in a few of my webinars and get a feel for it, you can join the Pathfinder tier. Now, let's go straight into TTS. I want to show you a few things. Give me a second while I flip a few screens. Give me one moment. Cool, right, so I've just chosen one of the basic UKTC layouts, okay? It's this one here. God, I hate when those cards show up. Let me just remove them. Right, so this is the Purge the Foe mission, and you'll have like your expansion objective over here, and then you'll have the enemy's expansion objective over here. Now, if you think about like normal deployment in this, people will like kind of deploy something here, like a tank. They'll deploy maybe a tank here to basically hide, maybe like here as well. And then in the circles that I'm drawing, they'll have like some infantry-based like stuff here. They might infiltrate units like here or like here, and then same with you as well. Now, what can we do to influence infiltration? Well, nice and simple. We've got a Firestalker unit, and if we happen to have, where is he? I think I put him with another unit. A Trail Shaper. Let me just copy paste. Okay. What we can do is we can just plop. We win the roll up, defend a roll. I'm not going to bother spending like 20 minutes lining them all out. You know to keep your tri-point in terms of your coherency. You could do something like this. I say I'm not going to do the tri-point, and then goes and does the tri-point. Okay. Get rid of this ruin. Something like this. You string out the unit. Give or take. Something like that. No infiltrating for you. Okay, cool. The battle's now begun. You can't infiltrate. Well, my Trail Shaper can pick his unit and another unit and redeploy it. Nice. That's no longer there. No longer going to die. redeploy it to somewhere appropriate. Let's just say here. Now, have a look. I'm going to clear all those boxes. I put a Firesight Marksman here. He's got an aura. I haven't yellow scribed it, so I could just like do the circle thing. But a 6-inch aura of, if you're wholly within 6 of me, you're effectively line up 18. Now, rampages are all covered. Enemy, what you'd do is you'd map out their threats. So let's say if they've got a movement 6 unit, okay, I'm outside of 18. If they've got a movement 12 unit, you're outside of 24. If they have advanced charge, it changes the mass, obviously, by an extra d6. But you could have a Firesight Marksman right there, and all of this, when it scouts, is going to be protected. In order to shoot me, if a vehicle's there, they have to pivot. It's got movement 12, so 10, it goes 5 pivots, and it's got 5 more to there. It can't shoot me. If it advances, so that's the 18, you do the threat range management. You look at it and go, all right, well, whatever the right distance is away, I'm not going to let you shoot this. And then suddenly, your opponent cannot charge you, cannot shoot you, and if the moment they want to kind of go, oh, I've got secure no man's land, or extend, or I want to go and hold a primary, you just go, how about no? And then this unit can scout move 7, for example, and you could put all of this, effectively, it could be like that, right? I'm just going to do this. All of this unit hugging this Firesight Marksman, who usually feels a bit lonely, but actually suddenly has got loads of friends. And then basically all of this cannot be shot, and if you've managed it correctly, it cannot be charged. And then at any given point, you can just say no. And if you wanted to advance, move 7, advance, so 13, they can go to there and still declare a charge. Or the Crute can go 13 and declare a charge. So if they're behind the wall, you can basically just do whatever you want. Oh, let's go over here. I've set up another Firesight Marksman. Right, well, a Crute unit or a Farstalk unit can now just be hidden and stay here, waiting for secondaries. All your Crute units, a single Crutox Rider could be there. I haven't got the model with me on TTS, but let's just use one of the Rampages. There you go. Simple, a single Crutox Rider. I'm out in the open, you can't shoot me, lol lol lol, containment. Or sabotage, or recovering assets. Then, if you applied a unit of Crute, let's say the opponent has not covered the center objective, you can have a stealth suit unit in here, or back here, or in here, it doesn't matter. What I said before on the, when we're reviewing the actual detachment, I'm just going to rapid ingress them, and I'm going to conga line them. Thanks, bro. I've got this objective now. Obviously, realistically, the opponent needs to be, say, here to screen off the entire objective, which then opens up, if they want to go right up against the wall, it opens up rampages to go and muller them with their fists. If they're 1 inch away from the wall, they can still, I think they can still cover the objective. It's 1 inch. There. Yeah, okay, so 1 inch away from the wall, they can still cover the objective. But the moment your opponent doesn't cover that objective, always be looking for that, because you can just rapid ingress the unit of 10 crew, then sticky the objective, and then do whatever you want with the unit. Other combos. Vespid. If a Vespid unit is here, it can go wherever it wants. 18. Charge. Then make a normal move. If something else has charged it, for example, or it doesn't have to be Vespid, but if they're giving you, if you've got like one scout left here, or something like that, you could charge it, fight, maybe you lose a Vespid. Okay, cool. I've got OC 8 now on your objective, because I just spend a CP and go on there. No objective is safe, so it's forcing your opponent to actually put decent OC on there, and rather than being like, oh, it's OC 1 each, they're suddenly OC 2, so unit 5 is 10 OC. Or, you could rapid ingress them. Then have them within a firesight marksman. Maybe he's moved up and advanced to like here because there's no threats to him. They rapid ingress. Stealth suit's tucked in here. They can now go 18. Charge. Do whatever they want. You could be so annoying with primary, it's unreal. And then let's talk about the crisis suits. Well, obviously, let's just assume that you have... I don't know. Let's say... Let me just load up something. 1 minute. Grotmus Calendar. I don't know, let's just choose something. What should I choose? Does it really matter, Cal? No. Just... Death Guard. Okay, cool. Uh-oh. I heard all that and I was like, uh-oh. Yeah, I'm definitely not charging that. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Right. Death Watch unit. Charging with rampages. Yeah. You'll charge this way. Cool, let's just say you have to get 4 in. Do it like that. Right. Something like this. Charge Farsight in. Rampages do their thing. 4 mortal wounds. Hit him with a lone spear. 24 attacks. They armor contempts, so what? Guess they'll do it for free. I've got 5 sustained. I'm strength 6, AP 2, rerolling wounds. These are AP 2, goes to AP 1. So, yeah, they're just dead. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. So 16 times 2 is 32. Yeah, cool, they're gone. Right? Thank you very much for playing the game. I out-combat you. And then Farsight's eligible to fight, so I can just make a normal move. I can make a move of up to 6. So if you moved it right, and you just basically just did the bare minimum, then you've got your Fire and Fade move. So there's so many things you can do. That was a bad example with Farsight's unit, because why wouldn't you just put them there anyway? Why would you make a charge when the Rampage is going to kill? But you can, for example, if you were just tying something up, if you want to do a fallback move, you can just move 12. So many things that you can do. It's quite spicy. Hounds. Where are those hounds? A hound unit. So, a hound unit, make sure I've got the measurement tool selected. Scout move 7. So, whatever, something like that. So there. Then I can move 12. Let's just say it's this way, okay? So basically I should be, with the scout move, 19. And then I make sure a recruit unit is next to me, 6, so maybe I move the recruit unit up and within 6. Something like that, to sticky that objective. I can now charge, and that's just the move. So I'll advance them. 2. And then I'm going to charge that vehicle behind there that you were trying to hide to come out and shoot. 7. Right, nice. Just tag this vehicle, this imaginary vehicle that I'm just going to draw a square. There you are, it's a vehicle. Bop, 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 you're tagged in. And I've just done it with hounds. 40 points. You now can't come out. All these crew are here on a sticky the objective. You didn't manage to take me off. I've got a reactive move with the Trail Shaper, cool, so I can just put more OC on there if I want to, or move off it if you really can come and get me. And then I've sticky the objective, thank you very much. The opponent's not going to score any primary. Like, if you do this well, no primary. And that is funny. Imagine the opponent going, yeah, you just out-primaried me? It's crazy. Anyway, look. This detachment is different. But know this, it is not trash. And I'm eating my own words from early today. I was like, this is just not, I don't like this. No. It definitely has legs. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I encourage you to just do the same as me. Take some time, digest it, and start to look at these different combos. And I've only mentioned a few here. There's so many more that we're going to be exploring in our Discord. And we're going to be having a few trial games tonight over in our Patreon side. I think there's going to be a game going on the Shas'O ones. I'm going to be having a game on the general access as well. And we're going to be having a bit of a play, seeing what it's all about, putting it on the table. So if you want to come and join a like-minded community, links are below. If you want to come and join the Patreon, links are below. And I look forward to seeing you. But thank you so much for your patience. I apologise about today. I'm sorry that the live stream didn't go to plan. Trust me, I was beating myself up. It was kind of embarrassing. So I do apologise for that. Hopefully this video has made up for it and you've enjoyed the content and the things that I've been discussing. And I will speak to you all soon. And I'll be doing plenty more Grotmus Detachment reviews and catching up on the ones that I've missed as well. So plenty more content to come from me. Thank you so much for your support. Remember, like, subscribe, and catch you all soon. Have a great Grotmus. See you later.